Hey guys, alright, so today I'm starting here in the big time frame. I just want to show you something. We're coming down to a pretty major level here, so let's just do this in the higher time frame here. First of all, I can't actually see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so as usual, I'm doing this. I'm not checking everything first. I want you guys to see how I work through this. Now I've got a major fib coming down at 2885. Could even be 2880 area. 2880. We're hitting the fib extension on this large move here. Right now we just touched it at the 100. So if we come straight out of this, it may have been missed, and you can see that we're not yet over this trend line. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit and we'll see that we actually have broken the trend line, so I'll show you that. You can see here that we are, depending where you put it, but we are over a trend line here. We have even breathed on it. So I'm really hoping that tonight we're going to stretch this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Hopefully you guys are following. Okay, so there's that trend line coming down. I can get rid of a lot of this other stuff here. What is that? Oh, from another trade. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. I don't need this tonight. I don't even need this tonight. Oops. So these are the levels. Let's zoom out so I can show you. Come on. We got a triple bottom coming up. And we've got this trend line that's already been tested here. And it could get retested here. Remember, we have a level of 2880. 2885 right in here. So if we come down to this area tonight, it's time for me to get aggressive. So this should be very interesting. Now we got this lined up, so let's go. Oops, whatever. We got this lined up in the bigger time frame. So let's go into the smaller time frame and see if anything lines up. By the way, we are in a bit of a trap right now. You can see that we've broken here. So we've got one candle down. Well, depending where you take it. If you take it here, we've already broke breathe. But if you take it here, we got one candle down and a couple up. So we actually need to make lower lows tonight to get out of this. We need to, right? Because if you guys know the rules about break breathes, this is respected both of these. So this is our range. So we need to make a lower low and then shoot out of it to get out of this area. Now I'm not saying that the overall market's going to continue, not going to continue going down, because it may well just do that. So I'm just letting you know that this is an area that it could turn around at, so I definitely want to test it. And it being Friday, it may do some bizarre action in here. Look, we got another level to confirm in the smaller time frame that this is going to be a tough level. That's 2884. So I really like this area. I like that we breathed over. So any action down, I'm going to try, even if it needles through. I mean, it's got to do some pretty hardcore action to get through there. Let's go see what lines up with 2880 tonight, or if anything does. You can see that right at 3 o'clock here, or 3 o'clock area today, which is a good trading time. There was a good trade in here. I'm not sure if it was a Fibonacci. It was good to there, but not to there. So that would go bring it off the Richter scale. So that was quite good. wasn't fantastic. I mean, you can see that it didn't hit the H4, but it just destroyed the the L4, and it just destroyed the L3. So I definitely want to see this come down again. And 2880 is L5 tonight. So this should be fun. I might be staying up for a long session tonight to try this baby. As for Fibonacci's, where does this fib give us? That gets us the L4, makes the L4 a good test area. And again, L4 area. Actually, that is what stopped the market earlier, was the fib off the top. So that was a good place to stop. The next fib off the top is very low, so yeah, that's a little scary in that we're calling for a break. If you do this full fib down, we're going way down, 28.40. Actually, in the bigger time frame, that's another place to take a trade, is 28.40. So what might happen here is we may get some wicked action and then kind of die off for Friday, or come right down into the fib, depending how the Friday's going to go. And then Sunday, very early, it may take off out of this area. Or we may not touch this area, and Friday will kind of float around, dick around, and then we'll gap down into it for over the weekend. The dangerous part is here, I don't think I'm going to want to hold anything too amazing over the weekend. Like, I'm going to want it to move out of there for Friday, because if we do get something where it comes down and sits on the L5, let me give you an example. Say we come up here tonight, dick around there, and then somehow we make it down here. And then New York time comes off the bottom, right? Even like that would be fantastic. We just started smashing things and heading up. But if it kind of floats like this, it's going to be very difficult to take over the weekend, because you could either get a gap up here that closes and then continues over the weekend, right, on Monday, or you get the opposite, which is difficult. You get a gap, say down to the second one, and it just takes off of that. So because it's coming into Friday, it's really tough to take this one. So the best thing I can say that would happen is that it goes like this, and you have nothing to worry about. Comes down, tests the area, and just gets the hell out of there, and then we have an up week next week. And that doesn't mean that we're going to break our downtrend. Like, let's go into the bigger time frame again there. You see, even if it comes down here tonight, we have, it's got to come up under here, basically 100 pips if it comes out of it, before we even get to the trend line. So you could have some, oops, come on. You could have, let's say it comes down here, goes up here, weekend gap down, and then breaks. Breathes for the middle of the week. I'm just throwing this up there. I don't know if the times actually match up. And goes like that. That's the best we can hope for tonight. Because when it happens over the weekends like this, it can get evil. Absolutely evil. So anyway, tough. So let's just get into the basic trading for tonight, because I just want to let you know that it could be a good scalp in there. Maybe very difficult to hold on to the trade, even if it is the bottom, because it's the end of the week. Tough. But let's just get into the pivots here. First fib of the day, up, could be here, because if it's this full fib, we're going into the stratosphere. We're basically going up into that trend line I was just talking about. Where is it? Yeah, right here. So it's through the H5. That's going to be quite a bullish day if we hit that fib. So I don't think that's going to get hit, because we haven't if you ask me, we haven't properly nailed this lower low. And you can tell, but see the way it needles down and then floats? That's not the way it comes out of a, or not the normal way that it comes out of the bottom. We should see some really brutal action when it comes out of the bottom, just destroying all fibs, all levels, and coming up. So that's what I'm looking for. Whereas if this level is not going to be respected, I still expect to have at least 100 pip bounce. So I am definitely looking to trade this heavy tonight. We do have that one fib off the top that's already touched. So if it does a double touch on the L4, that would be a little annoying, because it's a tough trade to take. I don't like taking second touches, and it's already touched today, so that's a tough one. I'd have to look for a break in the trend. Break, breathe, candles, you know, a different way to get in there. The other thing we got is, oops, we could have a first touch here, which is just a little lower. Oh, it's still tough, man. That's the 2900 area. That's gonna be tough to take. So I'm not going to recommend that, although it can be taken with care. Just take our first fib of today off here too. Oh, and it's the L4. No, we have to take that. So I'm going to recommend this as a trade tonight. Be cautious, be quick, be dainty, be nimble in this area. See if you can catch the move. And then if we do motor through and breathe, switch directions, because we're going down to L5. So that's what I think about that. Now if we go up first, it looks like we're trying to make a lower low here, so I can't really give you any fibs that line up with the H3. I can just say that the H3 is coupled with the pivot today, so that already gives you 2 reasons to sell there. H4 doesn't look like I have anything on H4. I don't think it's there. Is there anything magical there? Not really. Oh, if I go to the tip, the tippy tip, we do have this. I got to tell you about this book I've been reading today. Yesterday, sorry. It is by Robert Fisher, and it's called Fibonacci Applications and Strategies for Traders. So Fibonacci Applications and Strategies for Traders. I can't actually see what I look like on the screen right now. But anyway, this is a fantastic book, and it gave me another way. I didn't think it was possible to do another kind of fib projection. So I'm going to wrap this up today with some lessoning. Get rid of all of this stuff. Actually, I'm going to give you a screen that doesn't have... What's gold up to? Oh my god. Gold is running today too early. Asian session has been really nice lately. Alright, so let's do it in the 5 here, but we'll change it to the 15 because I got nothing on here, so I can give you some easy lessons. Alright, let's go through the different fib levels. So one of the ways of doing it, a fib, is you use the, I'm not even showing you the full screen here. Alright, so I use the fib retracement tool, right? And I put the 0, remember, the Fibonacci's are exactly the same upside down. So when I say I put 0 up here, I'm putting the first part up there. I don't care if it's upside down or not. You know, I could do it like this. Anyway, I'll do it like this for now because I'll show you guys. Okay, so I'm putting the 0 up here, and I put the 38.2 on swing lows. So we got a swing low here, and we got a swing low here, and we got a swing low here. You can even pick candles in the bigger time frames, but I'm just using the 15-minute to show you. Now watch the interaction. So I put the 38.2 right here, right? So I'm using prior market, and I'm projecting levels. You see, if you use Fibonacci's to scalp, in the futures it's done a lot. You use Fibonacci's and Camarillas, and you look for a volume change. So you see in the tick charts the volume is red, 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 and then goes green. That's where you buy. You wait for a Fibonacci level or Camarilla or whatever, and then you wait for that rollover of the volume and you buy. So you can also do it, you can wait for a hammer. If you know how to trade hammers, some people don't. This is a bad example because the setup is never triggered. Usually you get a hammer and then a close above is a trigger and then you buy, or you put a pending order back at the body. Anyway, I'm not going to get into how to trade candles. But, or you just do what I do and you just take it right, first touch fib. So first touch fib, if you're scalping, gets you 17 pips on that trade, right? Alright, let's use the next level. Actually, the next level was a little cheap. It looks like it scammed you out of a pip or two here. 1 pip, yeah. And remember, your spread's in here too, so hopefully you're trading with a small spread. I like to trade with a locked spread as small as I can because I trade through announcements and everything. I don't like my spread to widen. Anyway, this one so far has got you 27 pips, right? That's one way to use fibs. There's another way to use fibs. And you use the fib expansion tool. And you take your swing high to your first swing low, back up to your swing high. And you can see the levels here. You got the 61.8, and these are what Cy Morton uses. And I find they're not as precise. I find them to be fantastic levels still, right? You can see how this is respected, and then respected, and respected. Actually, this lines up with the last one, but respected. They're not as precise, but they're levels to watch. Yeah, so that's as simple as that. And you can keep using these as you go down. As it makes a new swing low, like say this one for example, you can take it right from the top and go to here, and you get new levels to be respected as you go down, right? You can take them also, you can take different legs, right? So let's take this leg for example and use that swing low. So you can get nice confluences. It's really nice to use it in the daily, 4 hour, that kind of stuff. Definitely not as precise as using the prior market fib. Those are extremely precise. Now, if you're wave counting, if you're an Elliott wave enthusiast, let me show you how to do that. In wave counting, there's 2 ways to do it. You can do the 2 over 1. Actually, there's a whole bunch of ways to do wave counting. I'm going to show you the first way I learned, which is 2 over 1. So I'll put the waves in here first. So we got wave 1, wave 2, and this is not like Cy Morton's classic trading ABCD patterns. ABCD, they call the point the A, the point the B, the point the C gives you point the D. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is I'm saying this wave in Elliott wave counting is called A. This wave is called B. Or 1, 2, depending if it's motive or retracement. And then, I don't know how you want to call these waves. It doesn't matter to me. Let's just call it like this. We'll call that an internal wave. And if I bring this guy, if I stretch it down, oh, fuck it. So let's just bring this guy down and see if that was the same trend line. No, not really. But anyway, we can call that a system for this demonstration. So what you do here is you take wave 2, right? So the top of 2, the bottom of 1. So 0, 38.2 gives you the bottom of the system, gives you a projection to the bottom of the system. Now when these line up with prior fibs, right, the way I was using that last time, using prior market to give you, right, you see how close that is? I'm going to put 2 on here to confuse you guys. See how close that is? That makes this level extremely hard to get through. Now you already know that because it's a round number being 2900, right? But seeing fibs in the smaller time frame lining up like that, wow, is all I have to say. And then if you go and look at the Camarillas at 2900, you've also got the L4. So there's a shitload of resistance in here just from 2 Camarilla styles. I mean, just from 2 fib styles. So let's go into this one, right? I'm going to get rid of these. Now I'm going to show you the fourth way to use fibs. And this is fantastic. I've been using this lately after reading this book. It's phenomenal. And it's another way to use waves. I've never seen it said before by any of my gurus or any of my mentors, so it's really cool. Again, the book, Robert Fisher, Fibonacci Applications and Strategies for Traders. It's pretty complex, but definitely, not of my most complex books. So I could give you some really complex books if you want to go unconscious. Okay, so what he does is he draws using the fib expansion tool. He does his line like this, right? There's a fifth way of doing fibs. I got to show you this too now. Another guy, Jason somebody or other, he does his fibs like this. He uses the expansion tool and he goes from swing high to swing low, back up to 0, right? So something that's about 0, and you can see that the levels are respected at the 61.8, blah blah blah. That does work. I don't use it like that. I find it to be horrible actually, and I don't know how he makes any money, but he trades classic patterns using that as his Fibonacci strategy. But this, using this, where you just drop it straight down, giving you 61.8, see how that lines up? See how you got the 61.8, and then you put it up here, and you have the 1618? So actually, by doing this, you get the next levels. And I love it. It's fantastic. And these levels line up like Christmas time with these levels usually. See that? Just fantastic. So I just showed you another 2 methods there, but this one is fantastic. If you wanted to use just 2 fibs, I would suggest use the classic trading fib, which is you use prior market from swing high, right? Swing high 38.2 gives you this level, and you can see how precise these levels are, right? They're super precise. They bounce fast off those levels. This is a little bit of a cheat because it was 1 pip out, but again, you can see how fast it moves out of these levels, right? Now, there is more ways to use Fibonacci's. Sorry. So let's go into the next one. Fibonacci retracements. So if you've got a leg coming down, and so far this has made a lower low, so we can call this another system coming down, direction down. You can use 38.2 and 61.8 retracement levels. Now you want to catch the leg down, right? So you see how this gives a hammer and immediately a close below the 3x3 and a close below the, shooting star. It gives a shooting star and a close below immediately. That's because you've hit the 38.2. There's no projections in there. You can get them out of the 1 minute, but if you're in the 5 minute, you want to take a trade on the 38.2 if you want trade direction, right? And what's your take profit on these? These are so simple to trade. Your take profit is back at the bottom. So in here it's only 25 pips, which is totally lame. If you're going to take the 61.8 retracement, that's much better, 29.50, and again, your profit is the same, because what you're thinking is the system is down. So you're trying to catch the retracement leg and get your next leg down. Now, of course, once the retracement's been done, you can get other ways of projecting farther down than just that. But if you just want to be very simple, you sell on 61.8. Your target is the last bottom, and simple, easy peasy. And stop losses. This is kind of tough because you've already broken your swing lows. So where would I put my stop loss? Well, it's not a very good trade because your stop loss has to go above this swing low, right? Because if it's a 100% retracement before it comes down, so you'd want to be, 5-10 pips above the swing high. So it's actually risk to reward. It's not even as good as 1 to 2. So anyway, so let's put this in full working order, shall we? Let's go to the 1 hour. And I'll show you how I'm doing these Fibonacci's. So we got a leg coming down here, obvious leg. Good. Let's do the retracement levels because we're here now, and see if we would have had a good trade on the 38.2. Absolutely, we would have. Now, is there any other way we can catch this 38.2? Yep. Of course there is. So let's use a Fibonacci expansion tool and use Side Morton's favorite, which is swing high, swing low, and that's not very good. Let's try the other swing low. That's a little better, but still not fantastic. Actually, no, it's worse. So that kind of sucks, but that's the problem with this tool that I was telling you, right? It's areas of resistance. So you want to get a little more precise than that, which I don't do on the hourly. Anyway, if you just use the 38.2, you're good. The only problem is your first entry here didn't hit take profit. So if you had been, smart, you would have just drawn a trend line down here or something. You would have seen dual hammers, which is very positive. It would have been outside the trend line, get out. So in this case, you would have had a 36 pip trade, which is totally lame. So how would I have caught this otherwise? I'd have to get inside this leg, so let's do that. Let's go into the 15-minute. We still have our retracement level, right? 38.2. Let's make that look even sexier here. I'm searching for things that I just cannot see. Now let's use a Fibonacci off the bottom. So we use prior market, and it looks like it goes above again. Oh, nasty! You can see why I didn't have a trade last night, right? Anyway, we got our 100% and our Fibonacci target right above, and it's only 2 pips. This was gnarly. I can't actually see a way of catching this, and so you see my weakness. Now let's use a swing high, swing low here. 61.8. Okay, so there was a way to take it. It's difficult though, super difficult. The only entry I see here would be a break of this this pattern, whatever you want to call it, and you take the breathe, right? But this breathe is actually not very sexy there. Right, so you take this, right, or whatever, there, however you want to look at it. You would have got entry both ways, and then you have that lining up with your, I don't know why that's not going over. Anyway, you have it all lining up here, right? So here will be difficult because you don't have a break in trend yet. It's making higher highs, blah blah blah. Here it's not difficult. Here you've broken the 3x3. You've got MACD in your favor. There's a lot of reasons here that that's a fucking gorgeous entry. Especially if you had your 61.8 already set up there and your trend line. And that's the secret, is getting ahead of the market and letting it play to you. You don't play to it. Anyway, so that's using the 38.2 that you're trying to catch a trade down on, and it's using a projection, and it's using a trend line. And that is the fun of catching these. Okay, so overview of our trading. We got a buy on L5. And we could try H3 and H4, but let's see what our Fibonacci retracement says about that. 61.8 at the H3. Yeah. Anyway, not great for signals tonight. And a really tough trading area again. This week has been a really tough week for me to start this off on, because it's not giving us the gravy train trades. A lot of the trades have happened in the Asian session, which I don't usually trade. And this is a tough trade. I recommend it, but it's a tough trade. Remember, L4 is a trade too, sorry. You guys can go back over my video now and just get the beginning if you want, without the lesson. L4 was a trade because we had a bunch of Fibonacci magic. Alright guys, see you later.